fiery brown dabbler. It's a slight variant. It's got an addition of a dyed guinea fowl feather just before the wing. This one here. And this is just basically like this is a sunburst hackle or a dyed sunburst, but slightly stronger. It's went more to the orangey side, which you can allow it to do when you're dyeing your own materials. You can just let it go that tad stronger. And ideal for this. It suits the fiery brown colour. It lifts it because of the orange side. It's quite a simple fly to tie. Great fly in your box to have if you're fishing the lochs on Island and even here in Scotland. Size, you could go size 8s, 10s, 12s. You can go down if you're up. It's up to you. I'm going to tie in the middle of the road, and the most popular size in this case is a size 10. I'm just going to use a black thread, an 8/0 is a uni thread. And what I'm going to do is just put down a layer of thread along the shank. Just work your way down. Just before it goes round the bend, you can remove the base piece. Now what I like to do is just to make the tail last a wee bit longer. The tail is normally just bronze mallard. Now the bronze mallard is a great colour, it's a great fibre, but as a tail it doesn't last too long. So to compensate a wee bit, what I like to do is sometimes add a bit of hackle, and this is a fiery brown hackles. This is one of the larger one. Just take some of the fibres, not a lot, just bring them 90 degrees from the stem and lift them out. This will line the ends up for you. Length, you're looking at the length of the hook tied over the back. Just a single turn or so just to position the fibres, just set them on top. And then again this is the bronze mallard now. Only maybe about half a dozen fibres there. Just again bring them straight out from the stem or to the tips of the lined up and tear them away. And again you can line it, you can just get the length. Just hold it slightly to my side and then come round with just basically a kind of loose turn, just to position the fibres. You can have a look, see how it's sitting. Just slightly short, so I'm just going to pull it slightly towards the end. See how it's sitting. It looks not too bad. I'm just going to come back because I think it's just a tad short, so if you're not happy, always go back. There we are. Now turn to lock these in. I shouldn't move at that. Trim it the full length at the body. Now I'm going to double rub this fly. I'm going to use a fine or a small gold wire and a medium tinsel, gold tinsel. And this is just an old or a kind of dark coloured gold. Just a turn to hold, again the full length of the body, same with the tinsel. This helps to keep everything balanced, and obviously when you take the thread up you're going to tie it in well. Just tidy up the area and then you can come back down really quick to this point. Body, fiery brown, seal's fur. Now it's up to yourself how heavy you want it, don't go too heavy. Just lightly dab it onto your thread, slide it, and then we can basically, I usually dub or twist and making sure it's tight when I want it. If it doesn't, you don't want it to kind of spin off the thread, so you every so often just put that wee twist in it. You can work your way up. If you're short, sham, just a tiny bit more. Now give yourself at least 2.5 mil or so from the eye. Now I'm going to bring this is a weak tinsel, this is not like the old tinsels which would be made of tin. These are like a synthetic colour, so basically bring it towards yourself. Just ribbon the fly, in this case about 4 times, across your thread. Turn onto the tinsel, turn onto the hook, we'll lock it in. This is only for colour, the tinsel's only for colour. Now with the fiery brown, as you can see it's lovely orangey brown. It's a Chinese cock hackle, or cape. I've taken one off, fibre length, just slightly, if you measure it by just simply putting the stem up against the hook, or the shank, you'll see the length of the fibre you're going to get. So just you want it longer than the gape. Remove the fluff from the bottom. You tidy up that. Trim away. Now, so you can see what I'm doing, I'm going to use my Hackle pliers. I usually do it by hand, but you can, this way you'll be able to see exactly what I'm doing. Now I usually always a turn or so at the top, and then work your way down, just on the edge of the gold, just so that you can see the gold and the actual seal sphere. You get to your wire. Now your wire goes the normal way, the same way you wind your thread. Now you can come up really quick, or you can come in between each turn. Meaning you can come up like really spreading it out, or you can come up just in between each turn of the tinsel to make sure it's well tied in and not going to pull off. Just going to break this away. Now just stroke back the fibres, always keeping the wire tight, bring it straight up and on the side. Follow up with your thread and then put a 90-degree bend into the wire. You can see that there, and then you can take it thread down, making sure it's secure, bend and break it off. And there we are. That's basically that. Now you can basically bring out some of the seal sphere by using some Velcro. Just bringing it in between. If you bring it out, obviously, and into the fibres of the hackle, it helps to thicken it slightly up. Gives it a wee bit more colour. Now this front hackle, as I say, is a Guinea fowl. It's just a dark sunburst. It's just a colour, an after colour when you're dyeing. You're always left with less of the yellow. Sunburst is yellow, fluorescent red. Now when you put in feathers, once you've dyed a selection of feathers or hair, there is some dye left, and so I usually times throw feathers in, and this is the kind of colour you would get. So you tie it in by the tip, couple of turns down, fold back the tip, come back up, 2 or 3 turns, you can break this off. Well, you can try and break off anyway, so I'll have to cut it. There we are. And then just stroke back the fibres or fold them. I would probably go 1.5 turns at least anyway. Cross your thread. Keep it nice and tight. And just run down. Fold it back. Break that off. And there we are. Not sure you got your Guinea fowl on. Nice and tight. Tucked back. Really strong. And your fly will last long. Now, what I've got here is the kind of bronze mallard feathers. You get different lengths. The bigger ones gets a bit more, usually get a bit more colour. Medium sized ones just slightly less, but still okay for this sort of fly. Now I usually like to work with 2 or 3 feathers, so if I would take the smaller one, I want this for the throat, so I would bring these out enough to form the throat, and making sure the tips are close to lined up. You can see they're there, and once they are, you just tear them away, and then you can see the front of the feathers. Just make a wee space, split them in half like that. I come in, put the thread between the split fibres, the ends towards the end of the hook there, and then I just hold them and do like basically a kind of pinch and loop with the thread, and then tighten up. Just see how they're spread out. When you're happy, you can trim away the excess. Now I have waxed the thread, so it's got a bit more tacky, so it sticks, and I've got the wax in my finger, so I can add a wee bit more if I need it. Tidy up this area. The wing, just use one of the larger feathers. A nice colour here. There we are. The simplest way to do it, there's lots of ways you could form the wing, the dabbler. I'm going to show you the simplest way. Now bring these out so the tips line up. Now this is about, just say, 3/4 of a centimetre or so. Tear it away once the ends are lined up. Then I'm going to do the same. I'm just going to, same width, bring out so the tips have lined up. Tear it off. Now because this is nearer to the tip of the feather, the more colour it goes on top. So just lay one on top of the other. So you're doubling up. And just make sure these ends are practically straight. Now you're seeing the underside of the feather. Length, you're looking at least around about the length of the hook. Could be slightly longer if you want. Now then what I do is flat on top, fold it so it's like roof shape, pinch and loop. Most of this is done within your fingers. Good 2 or 3 turns to make sure it's not going to move. And there's your wing. And then come in, trim away. As I say, the wax is on the thread, so it stays nice for you. It shouldn't pull off. Just make sure you don't get any fibres going forward or further than the eye. Now what I like to do is bring the thread to the eye itself and build the thread turns up into these cut ends. You'll find it sits much better. Take your time. And there we are. A wee bit of wax. Okay, I've got a finishing tool. Just come in then. I'm just going to tighten the head area up at the same time with the turns. Nice and tight. And there we are. And that's not exactly your fiery brown dabbler, but just about. It's a slight variant. As I say, a good pattern. Easy to tie. Once you've tied a few, just change the colours. Olives, yellows, golden olives, stuff like that. I mean, there's many colours you could actually tie the dabbler in. I would say probably the best or the most used would be the claret dabbler. Certainly catches a few fish. Now all I have to do is varnish it up. Now to speed up the process, what I like to do is just touch the head with some super glue all the way around. Just nice. That dries within a minute or two, and then you can varnish it, and then it's you ready to use it. So I hope you enjoyed that, and that's a slight variant of the fiery brown dabbler.